Now, there's a possibility that the City of Johannesburg will have another mayor, a different mayor, by the end of next week. Barely 3 months after taking office, Kabelo Gwamanda will face a motion of no confidence at the next ordinary council meeting. The motion is sponsored by Action SA and will be tabled by Thursday, we believe. The party says Gwamanda scammed Soweto residents out of funeral insurance investments through what they're calling a Ponzi scheme. Gwamanda succeeded his fellow Al-Jamaa colleague, Kabelo Gwamanda, who resigned a day before facing his own motion of no confidence. Let's unpack this now with political analyst Sandile Swana, who joins us virtually from Krugersdorp. Sandile, another month, another motion of no confidence in a Johannesburg mayor. Are you surprised by the latest developments?
I may not be surprised, but certainly I am disappointed by this conduct. The previous election, you'll remember that there were 3 contestants. Gwamanda was one. He got 139 votes. Paladze of the DA got 68 votes. Ngobeni of the Action SA got 59. So the 2 contesting candidates from Action SA and the DA could not get half of the votes that Gwamanda got. So Gwamanda got a runaway support from council. This motion of no confidence does not come from the majority that supported Gwamanda into power. It comes from those who lost the last election, and the mayor must be elected from among the eligible councillors who are in office at the time. So this is a very worrisome development because Paladze, even at the time she was contested, she was in and out of office. Dada was also in and out of office, having taken office irregularly. And this cannot be a move that is aimed at helping the residents of Johannesburg at all.
Now, he's being accused of running what the Action SA is calling a Ponzi scheme. The Al-Jamaa's leadership has dismissed it, saying, look, this thing happened 11 years ago. It wasn't a Ponzi scheme. It was just an ordinary stokvel, and there's nothing illegal about it. But the fact remains that every time we've seen a motion of confidence like this, either here or in Swane, it's had something to do with fraudulent activity that somebody is being accused of in their past behavior. It does leave question marks over the caliber of leadership that are taking up these positions in these hallways of our major municipalities, doesn't it?
Let's remember that the election was in 2021, and through the good offices of the EFF, Paladze of the DA took up office and was in office, and Mashaba of the Action SA told the DA that in order to stay in office, all that you need to stay for the 5-year term, make a deal with EFF. Paladze herself went to the DA and told the DA Federal Council and all the seniors there that they must just make a deal with the EFF and they'll remain in office. Paladze was not removed from office because she was incompetent. She was not removed from office because she was a criminal or anything like that. She was removed because the DA failed to make a political deal with the EFF and actually fought with the PA, and so on and so forth. So in the case of Johannesburg, we have to be very aware that the politics of the DA versus the EFF have played a major role to get us here. On the matter at hand of Gwamanda, when the Action SA actually proposed this motion of no confidence many months ago, I wrote to Gwamanda and asked him to submit to me, because I comment on the public media, all the documents they are going to rely on to promote this motion of no confidence. I've been waiting for a few months and I've never received anything. And the reason why I would want these documents is because the courts of this country have not issued a certificate to say this man, Gwamanda, was convicted of this crime. The Financial Services Board and other entities that govern finance in this country have not issued any certificate to say that Gwamanda committed a fraud. The person sponsoring the motion, Funzi Ngobeni, is the one who lost the election. And the mayor must be elected. And the only way to become a mayor is that you must be an eligible councillor and you must be voted in. Now, people who could not even summon half of the votes that Gwamanda commanded at the time are now disrupting the council again.
So where does that leave us now? Because there is talk that the Patriotic Alliance is reportedly in talks with the so-called multi-party charter, which is unofficially also being called the Moonshot Pact. Now, the PA has been reported that they're saying that they're not joining the charter. I'm just looking at this article in News 24 from a few days ago. They're denying rumours that they're joining this charter, mainly because of the presence of the DA. It looks like all of this local politics is, of course, now happening with the cloud of the 2024 elections hanging over it. What kind of impact do you think that's going to have on how things play out in the Joburg Metro?
Let me put it to you this way. I would have been happier if this interview in its entirety was an interview for me and you to review the performance of the city. Let's say for this year, the mid-year report, performance report of the city, to see whether the city is covering the backlogs that are there. We are not discussing whether the city is becoming cleaner, safer, whether there's water availability. And we are discussing personalities. This is the cult of personality. Our politics are driven by personalities rather than by performance. And I can tell you now, even if they were to do this, either before the election or after the election, a number of the prominent figures in this election that might happen or not happen are going to be implicated in corruption, because I already have received information about some of these parties that are active in this matter.
How do you think this all plays out this coming week? Sandile, are we going to have a new mayor come
the
end of next week?
If the EFF have not pronounced themselves on saying they are going to advise Gwamanda to pull out and stop being their candidate, this is a storm in a teacup that is going to lead nowhere. And I must emphasize that Mashaba expressed great disappointment that he was removed whilst he was performing very well in the city of Johannesburg before his term ended, through an underground collaboration between the DA and the ANC. We don't know if the DA and the ANC are collaborating, because Ramaphosa was saying that he wants Gwamanda removed. And we know that the Veterans League in the ANC is collaborating to whatever degree, in whatever manner, with the DA. We don't know if that is going to play out. It can play out, but if it play out, then it gives our politics, not only in Johannesburg, but nationally, a totally different complexion. So for now, I don't think this is going to succeed at all. And if it does succeed, it may then signal that we're headed for whatever they call that grand coalition, or the mega coalition of the DA and the ANC. And I think that in itself is in jeopardy. It will actually create more political chaos than solve anything.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your insight, as always. Political analyst Sandile Swana joining us virtually from Krugersdorp there.